something, and then they come back for us. They come back to us and then ask us questions. Then we start to find the answer for them. Sometimes that's a little late. People, they say, "Oh, you're just making an excuse, or you're just finding something to put me away, or just find something answer to keep me happy." But that's not true. You have to sort of like vaccinate them. I know vaccination is not a word nice by these days, but you just want to get them prepared for what's coming. So sometimes I send them a healing crisis, or I send them some possible changes for the better or for the worse. Sometimes I just prepare them for what's going to possibly happen, so they get a little prepared. Sometimes they get a little nervous, but it's better than when they take something and then they have some itchy rash, and then they say, "Wow, it's not good for me. I'm having allergic reaction to it." Or if they feel something like a stomach disturbance, they say, "Oh, it's bothering my stomach. It's not good for me, not good for my body. It's not good for my stomach," and all of those things. And if they feel any upheaval or the up and down of the blood pressure or the sugar, and then they get scared of what's coming, what's going on, and then they stop. So that's why we want to sort of get them prepared for what's coming, what's going on, and it's possible that something like this might happen. So when they are prepared, when it does happen, they are more ready, they are more prepared. They don't blame you, and then they don't walk away, and then they don't drop the fountain of life. And as they continue to take it, then they start to feel the difference. That's why when I sell somebody one bottle, I always tell them that one bottle might not be. Don't expect a result right away with one bottle. So this one bottle is just for you to get started, just for you to get ready to feel something, but not necessarily something really have to happen. So that they are more ready to take the second or another bunch. The first bottle is only for them to feel the taste, or even just to get them to have a beginning, not the ending of it. So when they finish one bottle, we can always follow up with them and ask them how they feel. Sometimes they might say something to you. You have to dig out what is the benefit that they might have already had. So there was one person, one of my tennis buddy. I think his sister had lung cancer, and he took a whole bunch, actually a whole package, 32 bottles or something, to China. And by the time he came back, I was asking him, how did your sister do with the fountain of life? He said he had put it in this way. He said, she didn't. She still have some issues. She still have some. I don't know whether it's diarrhea or something, and that's still not controlled. Or but he said the lung cancer is under control now. It's okay now. It's okay now, but the other things are still not okay. I was telling him, I said, you know what? The major thing, the most important thing is the lung cancer. If you got that under control and getting better, isn't that a huge deal? Is that a huge deal? Just don't lighten up. Don't just make it sound like a very trivial thing. It's important. It's very important that when she can get better with lung cancer. I know when he went home, he was very desperate. He said, "I need to rush. I need to go. I'm not sure how much time I have and how much I need, and I don't know whether she needs that many. I don't know how long she can last. all that kind of talk. But now he said he's doing better with lung cancer, but still have some other problems. That's the fount of life hasn't worked yet. So I just figured out that the lung cancer is better. That's very, very encouraging and important. So these are the things that we need to know. Some other people, they might say, oh, I'm just feeling a little better. I'm just sleeping a little better. Other things, I don't see any other changes. I would always tell them that sleeping better is it's like a huge deal. Again, when you don't sleep, there might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 things bothering you. Then you don't sleep. So that's why when you sleep better, it's a huge deal. You are going to be able to recover. You are going to be able to refuel your gas tank, and all of that is happening. And that means your liver, your kidney probably is doing better too. And then you don't have to get up to urinate. You don't have to scratch your itchy back or neck, or you don't wake up from a cold feet. All of these things could be happening for the better when you are able to sleep. So that's why when I talk to people, I would try to dig out what they are doing better, and then if they are not yet, I would say, yeah, you have to commit yourself. You have to reinforce your new army, your good army, your positive energy army going into your body. No matter how good your first brigade is, they need reinforcement. They need a big what do you call it, the army of a massive army to go in. So you have to continue to pump in enough in order for you to feel better. So that's very, very, very important that we talk to them about how we need to continually to reinforce our good army in the body. We would assume that especially when somebody has a certain severe disease, it means their body is taken over by the enemies. And if we don't have a good, huge army going in, we are going to be wiped out. Our positive, good energy is going to be wiped out or absorbed, neutralized by what's happening inside. So that's why we want to let our customer and partners know that we are ready. We are ready. We need to be ready for more to come. Or sometimes I introduce it as a treatment program or plan. How many bottles? Let's say 15 bottles or 13 bottles as a full program. You need to finish 1 set or 2 sets or 3 sets in order for you to feel better. So they don't just count on 1 bottle to work, and if it doesn't, then they quit and they blame it. And so this is very, very important. Morning, Monica.
Good. Thank you, everyone, for joining these amazing testimonials. It's really always very useful. So I met with a customer yesterday. No, sorry, the customer's father, actually. He was very concerned about his daughter. Basically, she was a 23-year-old vibrant girl who went to the dentist. She came back with a headache, and she came back with fever. After that, she couldn't get out of teeth since that incident. They tried everything in the market. They tried every herb, everything. So I was introduced to him. I recommended that he tries a bottle. I know he already tried everything. And he tried a bottle, and then he's going to try the bottle. Sorry, the screen switched, so I'm not sure what's happening. Henry, are you there?
We can see you, yeah.
Okay. So now his concerns are she's on some multivitamins. She's on, I think, a pill to control her iron level. And so he wants to know, I think that's the next question. He wants to know, would the fountain of life contradict with any of that? Because he doesn't want her to have a setback.
No, it's not. We usually don't see any contradiction or any side effects, or we almost treat it as another smoothie. If somebody can drink a smoothie, they drink this because this is another plant, another herb, another basically even blood thinners. We have people using it in conjunction with blood thinner, and it doesn't bother them. It actually hasten the effect of the probably blood thinner. So it helps them to heal better, faster, give them good positive energy. So it's a great idea to add this regimen to what they have. And when they get better, they can probably wean off some of the medication she was on.
Okay, and also he asked me if we have had any incident or cases of people having adverse reaction to FOL. I did tell him that we didn't have any known cases because it's not toxic, it's natural. Do you have anything else to add to that?
The only possibility is actually almost like if somebody is allergic to pine tree or Norwegian spruce tree. If
Yes.
they do have a specific reaction to that tree, then there's a potential risk in that. But we have seen so many people that use it, and then nobody seems to be really bothering anyway. If they have any what do we call healing crisis, then that's just the body has to go through a process of healing, and that's not a side effect, not an adverse reaction. It's just when as I always mention it, as a what do we call a renovation of a kitchen, you have to tear down the decayed stuff, leaky, garbage, and erosion, and moldy stuff in order for you to replace them with the modern material. And that's a process that's going to be a little messy for a few days, a couple of weeks, or a month. And then after you finish that, then you've got a brand new kitchen. That process has to take place for some people, depending on how much damage they had before, how big of a hole that they had in there before. If they are perfectly healthy, they are not going to feel anything. It's just like in Toronto, we have this in front of my building, my clinic. We have this beautiful Highway 7 that's just newly renovated, and we just need to dust off the snow, dust off the dust, and everything is great. Trees, every lawn and flowers, everything great. But for some other street like Eglinton and Finch, they take 20 years to renovate them. They are still very, very messy.
Yes.
So sometimes that's why when you have the money, when you have the neighbor force, you feel a long time to finish a project. So if you have the money, if you have the neighbor force, you finish your project much faster. That's over the problem much faster.
Okay. And he did express to me that he also used flaxseed oil to help her out. So then from that, I said, well, then she won't have any allergy towards the FOL because it contains the same ingredient, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
they can use it in conjunction with the flaxseed oil, and that's all fine. That's okay. You won't overdose yourself.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
But again, good morning, everyone, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. So I guess some of you might have seen that I was in Montreal this past weekend for my son's tennis tournament, and we left on Thursday morning. Again, our kids just got better not too long ago from that flu that's been going around. Anyhow, we're all good. Got to the plane and got off the plane, of course. And by the time we got to having lunch, Rex, which is my older son, started telling me that he feels really hot, and when we touched his cheek and his forehead, he definitely had a fever coming on, and it kind of came out of nowhere. We really have no idea what it is, because this thing only lasted for like a day. But what happened was, of course, we were just concerned about him getting sick and him passing along to perhaps Leon, who's actually competing in a tournament. So what happened was, we decided to go to the Shopper Drug Mart. It's called Pharma Prix there. It's a different name. It's funny though. I never realized that in Montreal. But yeah, we just, you know, in the past when they're babies, they had a fever. We had this, you know, Advil for children, and you know, of course, mostly drinks back then. As they get older, we buy sometimes the Advil, you know, pill. Anyways, saw the pharmacist at the Shopper Drug Mart there, and she goes, "Yeah, you know, how tall is he? How much does he weigh? What's his weight? Okay, I suggest you to have a regular strength Advil." And so, you know, of course, I'm like, okay, sure, why not? So I buy it, you know, I buy a bunch of water, bring back to the hotel, I give it to him, and you know, he falls asleep. And when he wakes up, he has mad, like, you know, if you look at my Facebook, I'm not sure, can I share my screen here? Can I share? Oh, I think I can. Let me share what it looked like actually, because it was quite a scare. I mean, he basically got hives all over his neck, and it was really just scary. So here's a photo of what it looked like. I guess before. There we go. So that's us in the hotel room, and this high stuff was literally like all over his neck, you know, on both sides, right? And of course, my first question to him was, "Do you breathe? You know, like, do you have a hard time breathing?" Because I've seen people who get these, you know, allergic reactions to the ibuprofen that's in Advil. Now, what's really interesting is, you know, when he was young, he didn't have an issue with the Advil, you know, liquid drops. And then suddenly, you know, he I think a while ago, maybe 2 years ago, he also had a junior Advil. And this was like the regular strength Advil because he's now older, right? So it was scary. I mean, just if you look at that picture, and it was all over both sides of his neck. And but he told me that he could breathe fine. So immediately when I saw that, I grabbed FOL. I gave him like a full dropper in his mouth, and then I also asked him to rub it all over his neck. Okay. And the next photo is probably about an hour later. So look at that difference between before and after. Just rubbing it all over the neck, you know, it really helped to, I guess, you know, to reduce the inflammation, if you want to call it that. But it also helped to kill those allergies that was causing him the hives, you know. And so, you know, I kept pumping him full of FOL. And what's interesting is about a day later, he was feeling back to normal again. But then, of course, what happened was he then ended up passing it off to Leon. And this poor guy, you know, he was competing on Friday. And he got in on Friday. So by the time he went to bed on Friday night, he was okay. But Saturday morning, he's like, Friday midnight at 3 a.m, he had a fever as well. Very strange thing. And so then, of course, you know, pumped him more full of FOL. Thankfully, I also bought the drops, those liquid drops. But you know, Leon doesn't have an allergic reaction to ibuprofen. But even for Rhett, so those hives that you saw on his neck left his neck and went down to like his belly, behind his knees. It just kept moving around. I just kept feeding him more FOL and FOL. And, you know, within about 2 days, he was back to normal. So for me, it's, you know, Fountain of Life is one of those things where you always want to carry it on you because you never know, right, when you might need it. For myself, of course, and Heidi, you know, and you know, I always bring a bunch of bottles.
And let's get back to the question which the angel have. Let me read it to you. A friend asked difference between pine bark extract, which can be easily bought from the shops, and the FOL. Like if 10 drops of Fountain of Life equivalent to antioxidant of 1,800 cups of apples, what about the equivalent of 10 drops of FOL to pine bark extract? Okay, so pine tree and spruce tree, they are two different genres of trees, of plants. So they could be pine trees. They are also helpful in many ways. It's just our Fountain of Life is made from the Norwegian spruce tree that grow on the mountaintop of northern tip of Finland. We all know the Nordic countries, 5 northern countries of Europe. They stretch like Iceland, Norway, Finland. Those 5 countries stretch to the North Pole, especially the north tip of Finland stretch to the North Pole, towards North Pole. And the tree on those mountain tops, they can stand the severe cold of -40 to -70. And with the wind chill, it could be worse. And when every other tree is dead, this Norwegian spruce tree just doesn't budge. It lived to almost 10,000 years old. So it is a much stronger, much more powerful, and also our extraction process has 22 patents. We have a $22 million lab in Finland to attach to the plants, to the manufacturing facility in northern tip of Finland, and that's not duplicatable. So nobody else has what we have, and the potency, the purity, and then the formulation, everything in ours is I'm sure is superior. And pine needle oil, pine everything, pine bark, they have been around for many years. Like we have seen things like OPC. There are so many other things, but the fountain of life is unique. I don't have an exact comparison to the potency or the number of drops, how much we compare. I don't have that the number, but the fountain of life is definitely the very, very top best one. So yeah, if people know what the pine bark extract can do, then they will love this fountain of life much better. And it's not even. You have something to add, Rene?
Yeah. Sorry. I just wanted to also add to this question, because I have also looked into this question before. And in short, if you look at the actual the pine bark, the pine tree itself, however, the actual, I guess, the internal, part of it is actually very, very different. And so the main thing with the Norwegian spruce tree is that it's called lignans. Okay, so that's the main thing about the Norwegian spruce tree that makes it very, very special. And in fact, we don't just have one lignan; we actually have 7 lignans. However, of course, the most predominant one in the fountain of life is the 7-hydroxymethylricinol. But again, it comes down to the fact that we're heavily lignin based, which is, of course, a plant antioxidant. But again, as Henry mentioned, because it comes from the Norwegian spruce tree, it's also bacterial, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory. So although people might think that the pine bark and the Norwegian spruce tree might look like similar kinds of trees, they're actually very, 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 very different. If you look at the actual the pine tree, it's funny, the needles on the pine trees are slightly different than the ones that are on the spruce trees. So on the pine trees, the needles are attached to the branches in clusters. Okay, whereas on the spruce tree, the needles are attached like individually. So in terms of being able to gather, the lignans from the Norwegian spruce tree, we actually gather our lignans from the not from the stump of the tree, but the branches, from the very beginning of the branches. And so it's kind of like asking, well, is spinach the same as, let's say, like lettuce? Now they might resemble a little bit to be the same, but they're also very, very different in what's actually inside. So although they might look from afar to be kind of similar, they are indeed, I guess, internally speaking, very, very different. And there's definitely a lot more benefits with lignans than there are with the pine extract. And the one thing I want to mention one other thing too. It just escaped my mind. Is that actually we do recognize, however, the importance of the pine bark extract. And so if you have been on our product training calls, the newest product that's coming out, of course, the beginning of next year, the Divine 8, there's going to be 8 amazing active ingredients in our new product. Well, one of them, of course, is also the pine bark extract. Another one is zinc, magnesium, I think it was. I think the fourth one is going to be the grapeseed extract. So it's going to be like a super product. But yeah, so again, it is a great source of health benefits. However, it just fountain of life in by itself, within itself, and just one product, one tree can do so many more benefits. So I hope that helps. And I'll turn the call back to you, Henry. Thank you. Yeah, Henry, are you still there?
Yeah. Great
Okay,
addition.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay, great. Wonderful. Also, if you look for testimonials of FOL, you have tons of them. I don't know how much you can find from pine needle or pine bark. There are different kinds, but we are the only one. We are the patented. We are the exclusive distributor forever for the fountain of life. So we are unique. Thank you. And we have a couple more questions from Jackie Hills. Have you ever heard of anyone having dizziness and headache as a side effect? Okay. So we don't really look at it as a side effect. Dizziness and headache, it just means they have some issues in the body. Let's say they have low blood pressure, or they have high blood pressure, or they have blockage in the brain, so the blood vessels in the brain is trying to push through, or they have they have some other weakness in the body that needs to be healed. So when as I said, the fountain of life is almost like a scanner. When they go into your body, they will find the problem first. So they will say, okay, this dizziness and headache might take you 5 weeks to fix. Okay, they're telling you, and then your stomach disturbance. Okay, I might have to take 2 months in order for your stomach to feel better. And if you have a uterus somewhere having a fibroid in there, just be patient with me. Okay, I'm going to take almost 1 year uterus fibroid tumor for you. Okay, so be patient. You have to give me enough time for me to deal with those problems. So it's just telling you that you have an issue with blood pressure or sugar or some other things, weakness in the body. It's not really a side effect. It's something that you need to understand. The body has to take some time to heal that, but you have to continually find a way or the right dosage for you to take the fountain of life to address that. Thank you for the question. Okay, we open the lines again. We have a big turnout today. Thank you, everybody, getting on the call. We have more people. I'm going to put more people on the line. Welcome, Josie. Welcome, Galaxy. Welcome, Caroline and Penny and Tina. Welcome, Apinia Hainan. And congratulations for your rank advancement, Apinia. And Anthony, welcome. Welcome. Welcome all.
Can I add something?
Yes, go
Okay,
ahead.
so let me open my. So I had to switch my background here. So I recently started my mom. Lots of water. And I reassured her that it had likely nothing to do with the fountain of life, but for her to stop for a couple of days, just monitor blood pressure, just absolutely make sure that it's not the fountain of life contributing to it, right? Maybe it's just her diet. And I know that it's not likely the fountain of life, but I just want to kind of clarify from you. Like, would the FOL wouldn't increase someone's blood pressure, right?
Yeah, right. It's just the blood pressure can fluctuate anytime. It could be stress. If somebody hasn't been sleeping well for not 3 nights, their pressure go up. That's just typically so. So if anybody just had a rush of a scare or a rush of an idea or something make them a little nervous, then their pressure can go up. Or if they just got a little angry over something, their pressure goes up. And there are so many things that can push the blood pressure go up. Even if the fountain of life is doing something in the body and make the blood pressure go up a little bit, that's temporary. They don't need to worry. So the blood pressure is just, you can't have your blood pressure on a high range, let's say 180 for 20 days in a row or 1 month in a row. Then that's dangerous. But if you are temporarily a day or 2 or 3 or 4, maybe even, the pressure is not going to be a problem only until it's long term, then it's going to be a concern. So with the fountain of life, just to have faith and then continue using it until the blood pressure could drop down, whatever reason it is. It might be helping the body to lower the blood pressure. So I think there's no reason to be nervous about that.
Okay, I have to add that she's back on it now. She's happy, and she doesn't want to stop taking it. I say don't, because it's just a liquid gold. It will do your body a lot of good. So thank you for answering that.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we still have another 10, 15 minutes if you have anything to add. Okay, I don't know whether I shared this before, but just a couple of days ago, I got a call from one of my customers. She just told me that the brother that was dealing with some kind of issue in the body, and he had to take a medication. Somehow he had a severe diarrhea for 6 weeks before he came to see me, and his body is drained, because if you go to washroom every half an hour for movement, bowel movement, then you are losing all the nutrients from your food. You are not absorbing nutrients. You are not going to be able to make the fresh blood from the nutrients, and your blood pressure is going to drop, and your body feel weak and tired and dizzy and headache and so many things going on. And so he came to see me, and continue to put him on the fountain of life, and added a couple of other things that I have. And now it's about 3 months now. He actually got better within 2 weeks, and then continued to get better and better. And by now he is completely back to normal. And his memory is returning. His energy is returning. His sleeping is better, and his mood is better, because he feels hope. He feels that he is better prepared for anything now with the fountain of life. This gives him the confidence to leave. If he couldn't stop the diarrhea, then who knows what's going to happen next? So it's very scary. And he was so happy that even his sister I was so happy that we got this under control. So if you have diarrhea or constipation, you can both use the Fountain of Life to address that. Sanjay, okay, Sanjay, get on the call. Thank you and welcome, Sanjay. And we have Nosy and Sanjay. We have more people. T-Kang, welcome on the call. We have Shamela, welcome on the call, and Sarah, and Sanjay. All right. If you have anything to add, you can raise your hand or just start to talk, or if you want to open the video, I can make you a co-host. Okay, so we have lots of questions that people normally ask. I'm going to pick a few, maybe a couple, continue to our discussion if nobody is having more questions right now. I was talking about how the Fountain of Life regulate our immune system or modulate our immune system on our Chinese call, and this is very important for us. When our immune system is low, it means your body's positive energy is low. The positive energy and the immune system is represented by the white blood counts, the red blood cell counts, and the lymphatic drainage system, the spleen function, the thymus, and the general ability to fight off cold. So you don't have allergies in the nose. Usually, when somebody has no immune system, they can easily catch a cold. The body is colder, and they are more reacting to any elements: the wind, the cold, the heat, or the dust or pollen. So anything could bother them, and that's when the immune system is low. So in that case, the Fountain of Life helps them by warming up their body, get the blood circulation going, get rid of the inflammation, infection in the nose. Let's say they have a sinus issue. If you get rid of that, then you have less reaction to the pollen, to the cold, to dust, to anything in the element. So improving your immune system, we call it the mutant modulating or improving in the right direction. So if you are low, it means we have to, let's say if somebody's white blood count is low, typically after, let's say, radiation or chemo, our white blood counts drop down. And in order for you to improve on that, you have to improve the body organ functions, like the digestive system, because the white blood counts, the white blood cells coming from the spinal cord, the spine, your bone marrow in the spine, in the spinal cord. But the spinal cord can only make fresh new blood from the nutrients that you get from the food you eat. So that's how, if your digestive system is weak and low, then you won't be able to supply that nutrient, and then you won't be able to make the white blood cells. So taking the Fountain of Life, you can help your digestive system to get stronger, so that they would be able to let you eat and absorb the right amounts of nutrients in order for you to use that as the food for cooking. So you put on a plate and then you start making food with it. The same thing with our body. We need that to make the blood. When the blood counts go up and when the blood volume goes up, the blood circulation goes up, then the white blood cells can move around in the body. They hunt down the cancer cells, the virus, COVID, and everything. So that's how you improve your immune system to the better, to a more functional state. But people are also worried about when the immune system is too high. The too high, we put in a question mark or like a quotation mark because they are not too good. Yes, they are just out of whack. They are out of the ordinary. They are acting crazy. They are attacking the good tissue, the normal tissue, as enemies. So they are not too good. They're just go crazy. They are out of control. So then they start to attack the tissues like lupus. They attack your digestive system. They make you skinny, and other things, other immune systems that attack your joints, your knee. So all of these things are our immune system is going out of whack. And when the immune system go out of whack or go out of control, it's again it'll be because your 5 major organ systems are getting weaker, and that's very important to understand. So a lot of times when we have an issue in the body, it's just a sign. It's a signal system to raise your to attract your attention to deal with it. Sometimes we take a medication to knock it down. Just to control it, it's not really solving the problem. So we need to really resolve the problem instead of controlling the symptom, because resolving the problem from the fundamental roots of the problem is more important to control the symptom. In many cases, we control the system to a point where it progressively gets worse. We have to increase the dosage of medication, or we have to compound other medication to deal with the side effect. So that's why we need to really get to the root cause of the problem. And the root cause of the problem is usually because our body is degenerated, our body is weakened, our kidney and liver function is reduced, or is beaten down by a lot of stress or medication or toxins or some other things. So the Fountain of Life is going to help you to improve and normalize and control the immune system in the right direction. It's almost like when you are able to control and guide the flood into the sea instead of letting it flood everything. So it's going to help us to normalize our immune system, and that's very important.
Henry, I had a question.
Yes.
So I was approached by a potential customer who has MS. Yeah. And I kind of wanted to know, do you know if the Fountain of Life can help with that? And also, do we have any use cases? Like any testimonials? Yes.
We have. We actually had a testimony in the. I think it's in our testimonial call slides. We have that. Let me see whether I can find that. It's called.
And you know, Henry, I didn't actually know that MS was a disease that could affect anybody at any age. I thought it was because of aging, right? And she's like in her 30s. So I was kind of a bit of surprised by that.
Yeah, it can happen any age. I know the people who have MS, they are in the 30s, 40s, so you don't have to be that old to get it.
Yeah, so if I can share this testimonial with her and get her on the Fountain of Life, it would be really, really, really good.
Yes. These people, they need a higher dosage for that. If you do the regular dosage, it's not going to help as much.
So what is the recommended dosage, for example, someone with MS?
Now we are more talking about 60, 90, or 120 drops for this category of people who have
per day?
Yeah, per day, yes.
Now, can those drops be taken all at once, or should it be spread out?
Usually averaged out is better if they can average it out to be to the day, like 3, 4, 5 times a day would be better.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. In the older slides we had it before, so we can find that out. And yes, it's as I said, every problem in our body is a symptom. The root
Yes.
cause is the kidney and liver. So if we can strengthen the kidney, liver, and the heart, lung, stomach, then we are going to help the body to heal different types of symptoms.
And how long does it normally take? Let's say they're taking the high dose.
Yeah.
Like, is it a range, like within a couple of weeks for them to start feeling a bit different or a bit better, or like what's the range?
That's quite possible because we have, they must have 5 to 20 different symptoms in the body that needs improvement. So one thing might improve faster than the other, like energy, like pains, like brain fog or fatigue, tiredness, dizziness, headache. It could be anything that could improve first. So it's,
Okay.
yeah, they might be able to feel some difference pretty soon, depending on which one they are looking at.
Okay. And another thing that I just thought about right now, I just got a customer who's got the Fountain of Life yesterday from me, and he's about to start it today. But he has like overall arthritis, like overall body arthritis.
Yeah.
So it's not like just his knees or his ankle, like it's everywhere. Would you recommend that he takes the higher dose instead of like the normal?
Yeah, definitely beyond the 10 drops we're talking about. We actually try to correct the dosage on our forms, on our booklets to 30 drops a day to maintain health. So we are going to definitely a higher dosage work out better. This is very typically our experience with different kind of conditions. Some people do get a result with 5, 10 drops a day, but it's typically better when they do a higher dosage. So that could be 60 to 90 drops or more. I think it'll help them faster.
Okay. Thank
Everybody
you.
can start with a little smaller dosage, like 10 drops twice a day, 3 times a day to start with. After a couple of days, then they can, just in case they are allergic to the pine tree or the Norwegian spruce tree, then they want to do a little slower. But usually
Yes. Yes, that's what I recommended to him, to start by 10 to 15 drops for a couple of days, and then just assess how he feels, and then increase the dose as as he goes.
Sure. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Thank you for that, Henry.
Okay, thank you. And Dr. Rosalind said, this afternoon I received a text message from my partner in Thailand that his mother-in-law, diabetic, is under control, and the doctor stopped prescribing diabetic medication for her. His wife's aunt regains normal sight after taking FOL, and his wife has reduced her weight and stated that also sustained fair skin. So great results, only taken less than 1 month. Yes, himself, he shared that he had more energy and sleep better and could go toilet easier and not constipation issues. Thank you very much, Dr. Rosen. That's a great collection of testimonials here. And we know that people are getting results like that consistently. And this is typical of how people could experience a whole cluster of improvements. And usually the whole family gets better with a different variety of issues in their health. So thank you very much for sharing. Keep it coming. And we had a great session this morning. It's just a little over 1 hour now. If you don't have anything to add, let me see. I have a couple of new people coming up. We have oh, yes, okay. We have our Thailand team, more Thailand people, partners join the call. Thank you. And our time is a little bit earlier than yours, so it will be 7:30 your time, 7:30 in the evening, I think. in the time and time. If you have any questions or anything to add, we are here to answer them. Yes, do you have something to add? I know you raised your hand.
Yes, can I ask the question?
Yes, go ahead. I can see a host
Okay.
or co-host.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to know about the problem of sometimes irritation from the FOL. I will explain. In some cases, also including me, I take internal, but sometimes, and also people that I know, when they put the FOL outside, some places there is kind of irritation, and some places there is not. So I don't know if it's a sign for allergic, because in the shampoo it's okay. You understand what I'm just trying to understand if it's kind of allergic or not, or it's okay to use it orally and also outside to put.
Yes, the Fountain of Life is very, very powerful, very strong, especially in the original form. So it's if we want to use on the skin a little more long term, especially more sensitive area on your neck, on your face, you want to dilute it. You want to use a sprayer bottle like a sprayer bottle like this that you can spray the skin with a diluted solution. So let's say 50 millimeter or 100 milliliter with 5 vials or 10 droppers of Fountain of Life inside, and then you spray your skin, your hair, your other parts of the body, and that way usually you don't have let's say a reaction on the skin, because the Fountain of Life is it's a little bit of oily, a little bit of oil inside. So it kind of can block the pores of your skin, and it can cause a reaction, or sort of like an itchy reaction. That's quite possible. But if you use just 1 or 2 days, it's okay. If you continue to use 3rd, 4th, 5th day, then you might start with a little rash. So just dilute it. It's not an allergic reaction. It's just your skin needs breathing, and you just want to dilute it so that your skin can continue to breathe.
I thank you very much. I can ask another thing that refers to that?
Yes.
I have a customer that she's having fibromyalgia. Okay?
Fibromyalgia, yeah.
Yes, and she applying it also outside, and she's feeling a lot of relief immediately. But I'm afraid she doesn't put it inside of water. She put it directly, because in fibromyalgia it's different, because you need stronger dose, and not to put it with water. So if it's going to happen to her, I don't know what to say to her in order for her to applying on her back. And my father had atopic dermatitis. He has also now, but when he put it outside, for him, it's kind of burning to him if it's, the wound, I can understand, but the fibromyalgia, it's maybe different. So we will be happy to hear what your advice.
Yes, always take enough from inside, internally ingestion, and that's always a great idea to deal with issues from the fibromyalgia. But topical use is you have to, especially prolonged topical use, you have to dilute it, and then you can spray your body larger areas of the body with a diluted solution you can spray on the body. But taking orally inside is how you address the issue long term.
So it's not a sign of allergic, it's a sign of maybe too much strong, you need to put it inside of water.
That's right, that's right. It's not a sign of allergy.
So I can ask you another thing, or it's too much for it?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I understand some people even use it in very, very gentle places. I heard that they even do it on the, the organ of male, the organ of woman, because they have like candida or have some, I don't know how to say, kind of candida, even in the vagina. And I heard I don't know if it's okay. So I want to know from your side, because this is very delicate area, and I'm sorry to talk about it, but I just want to understand if it's the right thing to do, because I heard they are doing it and it helped them. Yes.
Yes.
And so.
Yes. There are people using it that way as well. I have people that use it that way, and they did well. And some people they want to put it in the colon, in the rectum. They did that as well. And then some other people choose to go from the top, from the mouth down to the colon, and they did very well as well. So it seems that it's okay to use that. We used to say don't use it in your ear, in your eye, in your nose, but some people tried that as well. They were okay. So this is something that I think a lot of people.
Oh, but you need to put it also in the water, or you need to do it directly?
The eyes, we are very careful with the eyes. Some people try it, they use it, they just feel like irritating. But some people felt better after the irritation. So we're not really encouraging people to use it in the eye because the company officially they don't allow it. But some people they dilute it, they put it in a eye drop, or they put it in a man-made tear. They did better with the floaters, with the cataracts. So it's possible to look at it that way. But with other things, some people they rub it on the nose, that's fine. Some people they even put a drop or two inside. They did that too, and it works out okay. So there is not very much to be afraid with this product. So that's why some people use it in their private part, and they did pretty well as well. So it's I don't hear any negative side effect or anything like that.
Okay. I have another question, but I don't want to take another time, so I will be.
Go ahead. You got a little late on, right?
Okay. Somebody called me and he asked me, and he is a very high level autism functioning, and there is like a range of how many drops that you need to take, a person with autism need to take, because it's dealing with the brain, and the brain is like Alzheimer and stuff like this. Maybe it can be more dose than usual, but I don't know about autism, if it's a high functioning, or even it's a low functioning. What is the best, and how long to take like this for the same high and low?
How old is the person?
She didn't tell me. I was talking to her by WhatsApp on the SMS on writing. So I don't know. I don't see. I think it's a quite adult, not a child. But I will be happy to hear the whole things that I can know, because people asking me also, and I want to know the answers, so I can say to them, if one asks me about a small or young boy, I know that under 12, it's not the company is not recommend, but maybe 12, 13 is different from 20. I don't know.
Yeah, in generally speaking, when somebody has a health challenge like that, they can, even if they're underage, the parents can decide whether they want to use it. With adults, the dosage is a little higher. So for adults with autism, they should be taking, let's say, 30 to 90 drops a day. So that could be the typical dosage range.
Oh,
it doesn't
okay.
really matter whether it's a high spectrum or with no spectrum. They are similar. It's the body. It usually traces back to the kidney. All the autistic kids, their kidney is a little weaker, and that's how they almost started from there. And they have we call prenatal essence, not strong enough to support them. So they develop their brain a little slower. The talking comes a little slower. The logic, the reasoning, the emotions, everything come a little slower and a little shorter. So that's how they got into this autistic spectrum symptoms.
So I have two questions about it. First, is it supposed to be like 4 months, 3-4 months, and then to down to like 60 or something like this?
Yeah,
and 60 is
it's
to be a long time?
Yeah, it's definitely a more long-term situation with the autistic kids. They take much longer. It's not like that they have a cold, and once you get over the cold, you're okay. Autistic kids, they need a more longer-term planning.
And after things become much better, so what's the minimum? The minimum for them, it's 30 or 60?
Yeah, 30 is the minimum. I think that 30 is minimum, and then anything between 30 to 90 would be normal.
For a long period of time.
Yeah, even for a long period of time, yes.
And people with also autism, they are taking a lot of other drugs, yes, kind of medications, and the question is, if it's not a problem, if you, of course, take in the distance of 1 hour or something like this between FOL, the other stuff, but if it's okay to take it.
Yes, it's okay to take it together with other medication. Just don't take the same mouthful.
1 hour, it's okay, or more?
Yeah, 1 hour, half an hour is okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, Vernin said, Henry, please mention if there will be a break in the session, and if so, mention when the sessions will resume. We are done. We are done for the day today, and welcome to come back next week, same time next week, Wednesday. And we are having a party tonight at the head office. If any of you around here in Toronto area, welcome to join us tonight. Thank you very much again. Great session, great questions, great interactive discussion. We love this, and welcome to bring more of your prospects, customers, or partners on the call. Thank you. Have a great day. Have a good night. Have a good evening.